Hello, staff and students of Fort Atkinson High School. I'm Angie Zaba, one of our 2 art teachers from Lower Blue. I'm here as a representative of our National Art Honor Society, and I'm here to ask you if you'd help us build a project this year. It's been a really hard couple of months, and it was not an ideal way to end school. I hope that you're all doing well, and with that hope, I want to present a project for you. Our National Art Honor Society would like to build a paper crane installation to put under the skylight in our commons. An installation is a piece of art that's built to put into a specific location and is usually only there for a short or temporal period of time. Ours will hang for about 7 weeks in our commons. It'll be there to welcome you back this fall in whatever iteration that may be, and we hope that you'll help us and become part of this project. Have you ever heard the legend of 1,000 cranes? In Japan, it's said that if you fold 1,000 paper cranes, your wish will come true. And that is our hope, that all our wishes will come true. And we need that hope right now. So your job is to fold 1 or 2 or 3 or however many paper cranes you want. And every paper crane that you fold, I want you to write a wish or a hope inside. When you're done, you'll follow directions in the attached PDF to turn your crane in. And then the National Art Honor Society will assemble that and hang it in the commons with the helps of our Buildings and Grounds staff. I wanted to take a minute to show you some examples of what paper crane installations can look like. These pieces are all works by French artist Madame Maurice, who was inspired by the legend of 1,000 cranes and makes installations out of colorful combinations of origami papers. Our installation will be most like this last piece. It'll hang from below our skylight, descending into our commons area. Feel free to make your origami any color. We'll work with whatever you give us. It's pretty cool, right? I'm really excited to put this project up and to have it part of our school this fall. And I'm really excited to invite everybody in the school to participate. I hope that you do. If you have any questions, you can email myself at zaboa@fortschools.org, and Zabo is S, then Z, then A-B-O. Or you can contact James Gadberry for more information as well. We really hope to get as many staff and students participating as possible. In fact, if every staff and student in our school folded 1 crane, we'd have more than 1,000. So please participate, play with us, and let's all hope for our future. Thank you. All right, the first thing that you need to make a piece of origami is a square piece of paper. So you can see this is not a square piece. I'm just using a piece of printer paper. But you can take any rectangle and make it in a square using a ruler, of course. But I find the easiest way to do it is to just fold the bottom edge up to the side. Make sure it's lined up really nicely. Give yourself a nice crease and then cut along this line. All right, I have my square piece of paper here that I just folded. It has 1 diagonal fold. I'm going to give it another diagonal fold here. One thing that you need to be aware of in folding origami is that it's important to line up your folds well, and it's important to give yourself a nice crease. So I always run my fingernail down my creases so that it's a nice sharp crease. You could use a pencil to do the same thing if you don't have fingernails. The next thing you need to be aware of is something called a valley fold versus a mountain fold. Right now my diagonals are mountain folds because they point upwards. If I flip my paper over, they point down. That's a valley fold. So I want to have my paper up with the mountain folds up, and then I'm going to fold towards myself. I'm going to fold the paper in half. I'm going to line up carefully. Give myself a good crease. I lost my line up here. There we go. Good crease in this direction. I'm going to open it up, and then I'm going to fold in half the other direction. So my paper will look like it has a plus on it and an X on it. I'll open that back up. And then I want to make sure that my diagonals are my mountain folds and that my halves are valley folds. The next step that I need to do involves pulling my diagonals together and making a smaller square. So I'm going to turn this so it's upright. I'm going to push the middle down, and then I'm going to take this diagonal here. I'm going to push those corners together. I'm going to turn it and push down, and it makes a square. I'm going to fold that square a little bit tighter. And I'm going to open that up and show it to you again. Okay? So you take your two diagonals, you push them together, fold it down, and you have a square. Now, this next step I messed up on because I had things facing the wrong direction. If you look at your square, you can see there's a point that was the middle of your paper, and then you can see the other side of the square kind of has an open end to it. You want that open end facing you. Then, on each side, you'll have two flaps. You're going to take that top flap and you're going to fold this edge to meet the middle. And then you'll do the same on the other side. It makes kind of a kite shape. And again, you want a nice crease, so take your time to crease that well. Do the same here. Take the time to give yourself a nice crease. You're left with a kite shape, and you want to take this small triangle on top and you're going to fold it backwards. You're going to fold it like that so that the top of those folded sides meet up with the bottom of the triangle fold. Crease it, flip it back towards you, and now you're going to do what's called a petal fold. So we take what we've done here and we are going to take this flap, we're going to open it up, and then we're going to take this fold here and here and reverse it, meaning we're going to kind of push it in, and then we'll fold it down. And I wasn't quite perfect when I did my previous folds. They're not lining up quite like they should, but that's okay. I am no origami master and I'm not going to let it bother me. So you've got a shape like that called the petal fold. So again, it started off looking like this. You opened it up, reversed that fold and that fold, flattened it out, sharpened up the crease. Then you're going to turn over your paper. You're going to do the same thing on this side. So I'm going to take my flap, fold it in like a kite. And on the other side, what I didn't do well is take my time to line up this fold here along the center line. So maybe I'll be a little more careful on this side. Do the same here. Give it a nice crease. And then you are going to open up your petal fold. Reverse the fold here and here. Fold it back. Take a few minutes to make sure that is lining up how it should be, and crisp up those folds. All right. For our next step, there's something that you need to be aware of. If you look at your piece right now, we're starting to see different parts of the bird. This is the bird base or its back. These are going to be its wings. And then down here, these two little guys will end up being the neck and the tail. And we're going to be doing the next folds on the neck and the tail. So make sure you have your bird base pointing away from you and your neck and tail pointed towards you. You're going to take one side of this and you're going to fold the edge to the middle and give it a nice crisp edge. And then you're going to repeat that 4 times. You're going to do that on this side. Nice crisp edge. You will turn it over. Repeat again. Nice crisp edge. And at this point, you're ready to make the tail and the neck. This is a tricky one because you're working with some areas of paper that have been folded quite a few times. So be patient with yourself. You're going to take one side of this and you're going to fold it up. And if you look, there's a little crease right here. When I fold it up, I try to fold it so it runs parallel with that crease. And then I'm going to stiffen that fold, and then I will do the same on this side, except now it runs parallel with this crease. Okay, so it looks like this. You're starting to see that traditional paper crane shape. Now we need to do the tricky part. You are going to pull one side down, and you're going to open up the side of this flap, and you're going to do a reverse fold. So you're going to push that crane neck or crane tail up into the body here. This is my fold, that angle. You want to match that angle. I'm going to push that fold down, and then right here is where I need to reverse my fold. And I always find it gets a little tricky right towards the tip, so take your time there. You've got that reversed fold. Now you're going to do the same over here. So I'm going to take that down. I'm going to open this up, push the tail or the head up into that space. Make sure I've got it parallel before I push it down. And then, oh, that folded in, there we go. I'm going to reverse this fold. And this always happens to me on one side. It won't want to reverse itself because I didn't fold it perfectly. So that always tells me which side's going to be my head. This side reversed nicely, so I'm going to leave that be. This side did not. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do the reverse fold part way up. And then I'm going to fold this down, let it have its original fold shape, pinch it in here, and that becomes my paper crane head. Okay, the last thing that you need to do is fold your wings down. So you're going to take this, you're going to fold it down as far as it can go so the body sticks up, flip it over, do the same on the other side, and you've got your paper crane. Ta-da! I'll also sometimes kind of pull the feet apart a little bit so that it can stand up and it has a little bit more of a body, or you can pull the wings a little bit and get some space in there. But you can see your paper crane. Good luck, don't give up. If it doesn't go perfectly the first time, that is normal. Try again. I look forward to seeing your 1,000 cranes.